Happy New Year, folks. New Year is the time at which a new calendar year begins, and the calendar year cuts increment by one. Many cultures celebrate the event in the some manners, and the first day of January is often making as a national holiday. In the Gregorian calendar, the most widely used calendar system today, the New Year occurs on January 1st, New Year's Day. This was also the case both in the Old World calendars, at least after about 730 BC, and in the Judea calendar that succeeded it. Other calendars have seen use historically in different parts of the world. Some calendars cut years numerically, while others do not. During the Middle Age in Western Europe, while the Judea calendar was still in use, authorities moved New Year days variously depending upon locally to one of various other days. Among them, March 1st, March 25th, Easter, September 1st, and December 25th. Beginning in 1582, the abduction of the Gregorian calendar and changes to the old system and new style dated means the various local states from New Year Day changes to use one fixed date, January 1st. The widespread official adoption of the Gregorian calendars and making January 1st as the beginning of a new year is almost global. The 2014 New Year celebration held in Dubai broke the world record from the most fireworks set off in a single display, lasting for 6 minutes and used over 500 fireworks. Regional or local use of other calendars continue, along with the cultural and religious practices that accompany them. In Latin America, various native cultures continue the observation of traditional according to their own calendars. Israel, China, Indians, and other countries continues to celebrate New Year or different dates. The most common date of Mother's New Year's celebration are listed below, ordered and grouped by their allegiance relative to the Gregorian calendar. Contrary to common belief in the West, the civil New Year of January 1st is not an Orthodox Christian religious holiday. The Eastern Orthodox liturgical calendars make no provision from the observance of a new year. January 1st is instead a religion holiday, but that is because it is the first of the conclusion of Christ 8 days after his birth and a commemoration of saints, while the liturgical calendar begins September 1st. There is also no particular religion's observance attached to the start of the new cycles. Orthodox nations may, however, make civil celebration from the new year. Those that adheres to the revising Judea calendar, which synchronizes dates with the Gregorian calendar, including Gregorian, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Egypt, Greece, Romania, Syria, and Turkey observe both the religions and civil holidays on January 1st. In other nations and locations where Orthodox churches still adhere to the Judea calendar, including Gregorian, Jerusalem, Russia, the Republic of Macedonia, Serbia, and Montenegro, and Uranians, the civil calendars, while those named religions first occur on January 14, which is January 1st, Judea in accord with the liturgical calendar. East Asia New Year, the Chinese New Year, also known as the Lunar New Year, occurs every year on the new moon of the first lunar month, about the beginning of spring lunars. The exact date can fall anytime between January 21 and February 21, inclusive of the Gregorian calendar. Traditionally, years we are making by one of 12 empty heavenly stem, which corresponds to the 5 elements. This combination cycles every 60 years. It is the most important Chinese celebration of the year. The Korean New Year is a solar or lunar New Year's Day. All through January 1st is in fact the first day of the year. So the first day of the lunar calendars is more meaningful for Korea. Celebration of the lunar New Year is believed to have started to let in good luck and one of bad spirit all throughout the year. With the old year out and a new one in, people gather at home and sit around with their families and relatives, catching up on what they have been doing. The Vietnam New Year is the 10th Nguyen Dan, which most time is the same day as the Chinese New Year's due to the Vietnam using the lunar calendar. The Tibetan New Year is lunar and falls from January through March. According to the Historia European New Year date, during the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire years, began on the date of which each consul's first entered office. This was probably 1st May before 22 BC, is which from 222 BC to 154 BC, and January 1st from 153 BC. In 45 BC, when Julius Caesar's new Julius calendar took effect, the Senate fixing January 1st as the first day of the year. At that time, this was the date on which those who were to hold civil office assumed their official position, and it was also the traditional annual date from the convening of the Roman Senate. This civil New Year remaining in effect throughout the Roman Empire east and west during its lifetime and well after, whenever the Julius calendars continue in use. In England, the Anglo-Saxons and Vixis invasion of the 5th through 10th centuries plunges the region back into prehistory from a time, while the introduction of Christianity brought the Julius calendar with it. Its use was primarily in the service of the church to begin with. After Williams the Conqueror became king in 1066, he ordered that January 1st be established as the civil New Year. Later, however, England and Scotland joining much of Europe to celebrate the January or on March 25th in the Middle Age in Europe, and number of significant fairs there in ecclesiastical calendar of the Roman Catholic Church come to be used as the beginning of the Judea year. In modern style or section style dating, the new year started on January 1st, the first of the circumcision of Christ. In annuation style of Ladies' Day style dating, the new year started on March 25th, the first of the annuation traditionally knocking Ladies' Day. This date was used in many parts of Europe during the Middle Age and beyond. Scotland changed to modern style New Year dating on January 1st, 1600 by act of the Scottish Parliament on 16 December 1599. Despite the unification of Scottish and English royal crowns with a section of King James V, King James VI, and one in 1603, and even the union of the kingdoms, the sevens in 1707, producing the United Kingdom. England continued using March 25th until after Parliament passing the calendar New Style Act of 1750. This act converted all Great British to use of the Gregorians and simultaneously refining the civil New Year's to January 1st, except in Scotland. It was into effect on 3/4 to 14 September 1752. Nevertheless, the UK tax years, which begin on April 6, March 25th, plus the 12 days, still reflect its Julius calendar and year heritage. The labeled years differences of the calendars was adjointed from the 1800, but not again in 1900. Thank you. This is the brief history of the New Year, and the New Year was created in Europe and was created first in Roman and before re-established in England. So this is the European New Year. So we celebrate Europe. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Happy New Year.